Hi, and welcome to FrazlCast. Climb aboard the Gnome Train.
Woo! Chugga, 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 woo!
Please make sure to keep your limbs and experimental instruments inside the train at all times. And now, on with the show.
A podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. I promise you, they do talk about the World of Warcraft. They just go off the rails sometimes.
So I'm Frazley, and I'm joined by Lady Emma.
Hola.
Pete of Stories Around Azeroth.
Peace.
And the Scruffy Druid of Loot Optional.
Hello.
So Cap had an idea to do a streamer summit. With many people starting to stream, as well as people picking up streaming again, it's a good time to talk about our tips and advice for new streamers, as well as already existing streamers. Kind of go through some of our hurdles too. But before we get into that though, there's something we got to do. Epicinsanity, what time is it?
It's time to go around the table.
Great idea. So what have you been up to recently? We'll start alphabetically with Lady Emma.
Okay, so last weekend, I decided to do a streaming party.
Nice.
For reasons. And I did Jackpot's party games, and I've been actually told that I need to do it again this Saturday. So I'll be doing that this Saturday. I think it was a lot of fun. I think there was a section I had to make it PG because my niece and nephew joined, and one of the people who there didn't get the hint. And we got adult comments about male appendages as options.
Limbs?
Implied erotica.
Why?
I said
Never going to get away from that today.
no.
What's adult about arms and stuff like that? I don't get it.
No, I said male appendages.
I mean, okay.
Appendages only males have.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes.
A beard is not an appendage.
We had to ignore that, and so the kids wouldn't see it. But we did this as social distancing because, well, we can't, say hi and give hugs to everyone. Mm-hmm. So this was a close thing, and it was great. And then I ordered something 2 weeks ago, and because mail is very slow, and it was on the other side of the country for me. And usually the mail will go actually in the States to cut through the Great Lakes to get to me. They had to actually go the opposite around the Great Lakes, which takes longer. Don't know why they wouldn't just fly it, but then again, planes aren't really working right now either. Anyways, what I ended up getting was Animal Crossing. I finally broke down and got Animal Crossing, and I've had no time to actually play it. Last week, I had it off, and I was supposed to get it last week, and I could have played it, but nope, it had to be this week, and I have finally today gave my 10 things to the museum. I've been trying to get my bottles in the morning before I go to work. I've put my tent down and 2 villagers' tents down, but I'm sad because they're not where I wanted them. I had this whole plan of where I wanted to move them, and they're not where I want them because I can't, because there's a river in the way, and I can't move the river yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Can't terraform yet.
Nope, can't terraform. And trust me, my whole plan of layout is so I could terraform, and I didn't realize I needed a 3-star rating or something to get someone to come visit so I can actually start terraforming. And that means I don't want to put stuff down yet. I don't want to spend money to, move it later to where it actually needs to go.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you have 2 weeks of planning without having the game. And it was just yeah. So, and then all this planning, when I finally got to play the game, I forgot to think of a name for my island.
What?
Yeah, this whole entire planning, I have everything how I want it. I didn't think about a name. So I had to take an hour break figuring out the name. But I like it. Its name is Ula.
Nice.
Yes.
Solid.
Yep, and apparently it means gem of the sea. So I thought it would be perfect for the island. And what was the selling point overly, which I totally forgot about when I told my nephew about it, and he's like, oh, it's like Ula Ula Island in Pokemon Sun. Me being a Pokemon player. Yeah. Apparently I named my island after a Pokemon place without realizing it.
As long as you get a Surfing Pikachu, because I remember hacking my Game Boy Color to get the Surfing Pikachu in Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, I have a Surfing Pikachu on one of my games. I don't know which one. I have so many games. I have them all. Yeah, and so I've been doing that, and yeah, got a bit of suntan, and my kitties are driving me nuts because they want to go outside.
Yeah, I think a lot of us want to go outside. I didn't get to go on a walk today, but Pete, have you been on a walk today, or have you just been?
I walked to my kitchen, made some lunch, and I walked back again.
Nice.
About as extensive as it gets. I haven't really been up to a lot gaming-wise. When it comes to Warcraft, it's mostly just doing the mount stuff because I'm pretty much done with the content in there. So a lot of my time is spent playing my mobile games, to be honest. I'm fiddling with my hair because it's growing too much.
It looks nice. I want long hair.
Yeah, I gave my boyfriend a haircut. I could give it a try if you want. There will be a lot of oops. It'll grow back. Don't worry.
Oops, I did it again.
I mean, I've always normally had short hair, and like I just thought I'd take the opportunity to grow it out, and I have. So like it's getting there. Delicate flower. Otherwise, no, I'm playing my mobile games, which range from Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and they're all pretty cool. A couple of decent strategy games with some long-ass stories in there. Otherwise, a lot of my prep has been for the upcoming charity stream that I do annually. Got the designs in for this year, ready to go. Just waiting for the last couple of bits and pieces to come through, and then all stations go in like a month or so.
And I'm definitely excited for your charity stream. I want to donate to make it where you have to wear mitts again. If you're doing that one again.
Yes, I am.
Oh my.
There's lots of tasty things there that I think you'll appreciate, Frazley.
Ooh. And it's interesting they bring up mobile games because right now, here's our ad spot. No, I'm kidding. There's no ad spot.
Raid Shadow Legends.
The game that we have all never played. But Scruffy, what have you been up to?
Went up to 5-2. Pretty much been there for quite a while. No, I've been doing an awful lot of binge watching lately. I had a week where I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. My back went out. You remember at BlizzCon a couple years ago, we didn't think I was going to be able to hobble around, but we did it.
Yeah.
But no, I seriously got relegated to the bed and had my iPad with me and finally watched a bunch of stuff that I have not seen. I think I get to take my geek card back now because I finally watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, oh my gosh, it's good. It's good. I'm actually on the second watch through now. I got the other half to watch it, so we're ready for the last episode, which we will watch after this.
Are you one of those people that just goes like, oh, what did you think? Tell me. What did you think? Did you see this?
No, but I did have to say the episode that threw me, and I didn't understand because I like Star Wars, but I'm not that Star Wars fan. We all know those Star Wars fans that are like, so this timeline and this and this and this and this, you know, this doesn't hold up canon. That, okay, I cannot stand that. But I did have to call my buddy after one of the episodes and said, you need to explain this to me because I didn't get crap that went on in that episode. I don't understand it. Explain the lore to me so I get it. And then while we were watching through this time, I said, so this is the episode I had to call Treya because I didn't get it. And afterwards he's like, yeah, explain it to me too. Because it's one of those episodes, if you didn't get the other lore to it, the outside lore, kind of like in Warcraft, when we have a bunch of stuff that ends up in novels, and then you just wonder how we got there in game. Had to have it explained to me, but I liked it. I enjoyed it an awful lot. I'm looking forward to watching it again, because watching it on an iPad is not that great. So, like, little...
Yeah, I was watching it on a iPhone 11 screen.
Yeah. So it's been nice to kind of move to the big
monitors.
I was watching this. To be fair, I downloaded it to my phone, and I was off internet, so it was the little monitor I had.
Again, I was stuck in bed. What was I gonna do? I can't get the bed in here. No way. That's in the living room.
Yeah, I refuse to have a TV in the bedroom too, but I have a tiny laptop that I can bring in there if I really need it.
Besides, when we upgrade the TV that's in the living room, that TV is going to come in here and it's going to be a monitor that I can stream with. I mean, that's where I'm going to put all the video games, at least the console stuff.
And speaking of big stuff, you got something pretty big this weekend. Wow.
Oh, no, not this week. It was a couple weeks ago. We did finally get AOTC with Exalt
Nice.
Chief.
Hey,
that was pretty awesome.
Congrats!
Lots of fun. And I know a lot of people have had it way before us, but it's kind of nice to see some people are still working to get that now.
Doesn't matter. You have it. You've worked at it and you've got it. It doesn't matter when you get it, as long as you
right. So I know there was a lot of people that it's like they want it in the first couple of weeks, and I'm just happy if we get it. I want to get it, but we did get it, and what we're doing now in Exalted with Jeeves is we're running achievement runs for all the other raids.
Nice.
And we've got to go back to Eternal Palace for like the third week in a row.
Which one are you having issues with?
Well, we kind of just blew Ashara up way too quickly.
Oh.
this week.
Yep.
The achievement is you're supposed to have one person alive at the end.
Yes.
So we got to about 500,000. Like, I think we all need to die. I think we need to die. Like, no, we're going to 2,000. No, you need to die. Then she's dead. This Twilight Devastation, Infinite Stars, God knows what else going off on Ashara. Yeah, she bit it really quickly. And the running one. The running around Fury of Ashara sucked.
That's fine though, except for the one person that's always like, "Oh, I don't have it yet."
Yeah,
Sadness.
that is an achievement that is not meant to be done all at once. Yeah.
I argue the fact I did that thing on content.
Yeah.
Doing the Ashara achievement on content is so dumb. It really is. It's
the one where you have to run around Fury of Ashara. All of us were trying to do it at once, and it never failed. That like we tried to do it 6 or 7 times, and finally we're just like, you know what? If you don't get it, we're coming back in next week. It's fine.
I was racing the warrior in it. Like he was just like he was jumping ahead, and then he couldn't charge because he was so far ahead. But every time I fell rushed ahead and like did like all the demon hunter like mechanics to just jump around, he just intervened me. So it was about trying to get as far ahead of him to see if I could just reach him, just so he couldn't charge me.
It's like every time Stampeding Roar came up, because I was in Guardian spec, every time I come around, I'm like, oh, here's a pack. I can Stampeding Roar you guys and continue around in cat form. And then, oh, hey, it's up again. Okay, there's another like 5 people over here. I'll Stampeding Roar them. And then finally, I just stood there tanking the boss and Stampeding Roared, and everybody was running by me after I had it. But we still had some that didn't get it. We'll have to go back and do it again.
I like doing the running one. I it's fun. It's a fun run.
Exactly.
There's no real need to get it all done at once. Like,
no,
you've got months.
We do.
Yeah.
The ones for Battle of Dazar'alor were a lot of fun. So we did Uldir, and we did all the Battle of Dazar'alor.
I don't have Battle of Dazar'alor. It's the only one I'm missing at the moment.
Yeah, my raid group is doing the current raid one, and we have the last 3 to do, and we just having issues with the bloody mess achievement.
Ooh.
I'm trying to remember which one that is.
See, I have to keep this PG because of Frazley. Because we call this the appendage boss. Where you have the room and you have to hit the appendages. There's the 3 doors that open, and then
yeah,
and the blood spools, and you have to kill, I think, 10 bloods in 3 seconds.
Oh, that's easy. You just kill all the 3 things and then just like let them all move to people. Just do it on normal.
So you kill all the 3 attendants first and then do it, because we've been doing it in the first phase, and it blows us all up.
What?
The bloods blow us up.
You're waiting for all of them to spawn out of the first door with the other 2 doors open?
Well, we're not interrupting the other 2 doors, so all 3 doors are open, so we're getting 3 at a time.
Yeah, that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, so we did it in the first phase. And
you mean on the intermission where you're supposed to be killing the organ?
You realize that if you kill all the organs, the oozes still spawn.
Yes, but they wanted to do it in the first phase.
But you can't, because once the organs get to a set level of energy, they just nuke everything. That's why you kill all the organs.
Yeah, that's where you're dying.
Yeah. I'll let my team know that, because I'm pretty sure they had no clue.
I think you would either want to wait till the very, very last phase or do it once you have 2 organs down.
Yeah, see, that's what...
So they pile up.
The post said either or, and my team decided that it's safer to do the first time. And I'm like, well, why don't we wait until he's almost dead and then nuke him once, Okay.
You kill all the organs because the bloods are just permanently spawning. And the boss, after you kill the last organ, has so much health that you can just cleave them all down and deal damage to the boss at the same time.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Yeah.
Thank you. See,
I mean, I can see the reason why they wouldn't want to do it in the last phase, because there's so much crap all over the floor. But and there's not an awful lot of room to run around. But you would get 10 bloods a lot quicker with the organs all dead and spawning blood at the same time. So instead of trying to kite one around and have them enraged or, big and whatever, not going to stop for anything.
Yeah.
You're killed by them way too many times.
When you say organs, I'm thinking of this like musical organs and all that.
No, they are not playing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" while Il'gynoth is yelling at you. Okay, that's not
Are
it.
they also playing "Happy Birthday" though? Because last Saturday was your birthday, and I didn't even realize it.
What sort of birthday parties do you go to? That's what I want to know.
The question is, does he get invited to birthday parties at this point?
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like this birthday, all my friends were on Twitter, and I did like a Twitch stream. But yeah, there was no birthday party for me. But we did actually have a party though for you, Scruffy. I didn't even realize until afterwards it was your birthday. But we did something special.
Yeah, Spaz wasn't
Well,
sure. If
When was your birthday?
it was last Saturday. So,
So we have the same birthday?
May 23rd.
Yeah.
Wow, look at us!
Happy birthday!
Yay!
Why I did my stream party.
Oh wow! What a crazy random happenstance. Yeah, I mentioned it in our D&D chat. 'Cause I was like, oh wow, so D&D for my birthday? And he's like, what?
I totally missed.
We could do it
say that
another
in chat.
weekend. I'm like, no. We never do anything for my birthday anyways. It's perfectly fine to play D&D. It's cool. Good.
So we started a D&D campaign on Saturday. So Spaz is the DM, and I've got a highlight on my Twitch channel. So if you want to go look at our session 0 and session 1, that was intense, wasn't it?
Welcome to Tabletop, Frazley.
It was so much fun. I was like just like bouncing up and down because I've got a deep gnome named Dorvin. He's a bard. He's also a charlatan. Has a signet ring for the Duke of Buidotera, which is a made up place that Scruffy rolled a perception roll and saw through my bullcrap.
Oh yeah, I incited that BS.
Yes.
And then I tried to BS right along with him, and he did not get it.
No, I was like, oh yeah, the amber waves in the fields of Buidotera are amazing.
Buidotera.
Which I did not realize afterwards it was also a pun on Essential Oils Company. So it's
Oh yeah, yeah. D&D is great. I'm glad you finally get to come join it, and now you can see why I'm so obsessed.
Oh, absolutely. I was like I'm now like waiting for the next one on June 27th if all our schedules work, because that was a lot of fun. And I've even commissioned now a image for my gnome, so that way I can be fully Dorvin.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited to see what exactly you end up doing in the game. I'm still trying to figure out my character. Wasn't very happy with how I was playing her, but we'll figure it out.
Mine has a resting smirk face, and like I've not done any combat yet, except for Katie and I did a battle of the loots, and I thought I would be a good loot player, and Katie's character was not feeling very confident in loot playing. She beat me in the loot playing, and it's like.
Just so you know, we have a paladin, which is what he was going up against, and then we have a barbarian, and then we have his bard, and then I'm a rogue. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Please, next time he tries to play his loot, just stealthily go up to him, like engage stealth, go up to him and just cut the strings on his loot.
Hey!
Ooh, I'm supposed to be chaotic good though.
Yeah, that is chaotic good.
I have to ask Spaz if I can bonus action hide his loot.
There is nothing less chaotic than being an asshole.
They broke down my loot and kicked in my teeth.
Oh, don't, because now my brain's going to try and work out what song that is now.
Ah!
I know it.
Well-
God damn it.
Well, while Pete's taken to that, I also went into WoW, and I am working on Lore Master some more. So I working on Cataclysm and also Mists of Pandaria. Today I finally finished Oldham, so now just the Twilight Highlands left, and Cataclysm will be all done. And I got to say, the storyline in Hydra was actually really cool. I like some of the things. It's sad talking with Ysera, knowing what happens in Legion, and just like, oh, Ysera.
Absolutely.
It's fine. We'll see her in the Shadowlands, probably.
Most
Yeah.
likely.
This is Warcraft. No one ever dies forever. They'll die for an expansion at most.
They're just having lag.
Look,
Yeah.
even Kael'thas only died for like a patch.
Jeez. We never got rid of Kel'Thas.
Nope.
How many times did he come back? I mean, he was in...
Oh, he's only come back once. But who knows? We'll probably see him in Shadowlands as well.
Him and the calculator.
In
That
fact,
was-
he's been confirmed to come back in Shadowlands, so there you go.
Oh boy. Just what we need. More pretty boy elves.
Well, don't go with the Venfir then.
I'm guessing that Kael'thas is running Torghast, because I ran Torghast on a warrior. I got an ability to increase my slam by killing the phylacteries. It stacks up to 100, so I had a 480% increased slam, but then I kept getting more of these. Had one up to 2,240% slam that I then used on a Maret by mistake.
There is no more fun to run Torghast than on a warrior or a demon hunter. I tell you.
Oh,
Like,
it is amazing. And like, I love like what you get with different things. Like I had pummel. So like when I was pummeling stuff, it would stun them and also throw them. So even if I did not have a stun up, I could still pummel just to stun them. And the only issue is some of those are death knights. And when you pummel them, they'll pull you. I almost had one where I thought it was going to pull me across the edge. Like, I'm going to bring you with me.
demon hunters can get so much to buff Eye Beam, and then they get something specifically which reduces the cooldown of the cast by 75% when they hit meta. So you literally go I-beam, blade dance, filler, I-beam. It's ridiculous. You can kill a boss in like 3 to 4 I-beams in Torghast if you get that talent. It's ridiculous.
I had one where I was running out of health, so between Rallying Cry and I had a thing to make my Whirlwind heal me. So when I was running down on health, I just kept Whirlwind, and it was bringing me back up to health. So, I mean, Torghast is going to be a lot of fun to see how everything moves and everything connects. And I think it's going to be an interesting thing to do on stream. So that's why I want to ask us, how did we get into streaming?
It was just a mindset that if I'm going to be sitting in front of my screen playing games for the long time, I may as well do it and in front of people. That's it.
Yeah, it's the same with
That
me.
is exactly how I got into it. Well, at least that was how the idea came about. If I'm going to be playing video games all the time, why am I not streaming it? My friend's like, oh, well, now you said it, it's going to happen. And he built me a PC for it.
Nice.
Like 6 months later, this PC started showing up in bits and pieces. Like, oh, this week you get a keyboard. This week, here's a mouse. Oh, here's a monitor for you. Here's the big daddy tower. So it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll be streaming. Sure.
No excuse now.
No excuse.
Like I was off and on for quite a bit, but then when I finally got a PC that could play it, I just started doing it, and I realized how much fun it is because it actually gets me to play the game more and more intently too. Because sometimes if I'm soloing, I can be tempted just to want to leave, but if I'm on the stream, you're like, you've promised you're going to be on the stream, so you just go in and do it. And it's led to so many fun memories. And also, I've gotten good constructive feedback on how to play better from the stream, which is helpful.
Yeah.
That's targeted, Frazley.
What is the story behind this? Do tell.
Every time he levels a different class, I give him constructive feedback on how to survive a little bit better.
It helps.
He was doing the mage, and he was just getting beaten into a pulp every time. So I'm like, you can Frost Nova, blink, and cast from a distance to kill them.
I was like,
And
oh!
every time he kept dying,
In his defense, being a melee person for God knows how long, it's kind of difficult to switch to range.
I mean,
I still have to explain to people in Guild. They're like, well, Echoing Void's amazing. I was like, not for a range.
No.
We'll just stand up like, no, that's not what we do. We do not get in melee range. We're not supposed to.
Echoing Void is trash at the best of times anyway. I kept watching him get beaten down into a pulp, and his cauterize would pop when he was on his mage, and I'm like, Frazley, if you use Ice Block, you'll drop the cauterize dot. And he's like
Oh, and I still got to work on like the rotation of making it where I do it properly. On my priest, I finally got to the place where I've now got the tell me when add-on to tell me when I can safely redo the shield when weakened soul's not up. So now I've been able to survive much better on my priest. So yeah, it's one of those things that like I didn't get that, and like I feel I'm a much better player. Like my rogue going through my rogue recently, I'm a much better player than I was before.
There's a lot of backseat gamers, but then there are backseat gamers that are actually nice and helpful. Which is awesome. I got a lot of.
Why, Frazley?
You are a backseat gamer that's helpful.
Yeah, I've had a couple people pop in when I was struggling with the 5-man mask run for Ogrimmar. Rexar just kept rocking my world, and I hate that work. Even though I love Rexar. Rexar's one of my favorite characters. But
the best advice I had to give anybody regarding Rexar was just go slow. Go slow, kill the animals as they spawn, and that's it.
I'm
see,
really bad.
I got the opposite.
No.
See, I'm bad on my warlock because I go in there, I'll put on my tanking pet, so he takes all the ads, and I just DPS him down, and he goes splat, and I'm like, okay, move on.
Yeah, I mean, there are different ways to do it, but like as a demon hunter, I realized like even as a mobile class, the way that Rexar works is that because like the pets will charge you and knock you back, and every time they do that you lose sanity, and then they do their cast as well, and then like Rexar spawns like the wave of mobs that keep moving. If you get hit, you're done, and if you get knocked into a trap, you're stunned. And I'm just like, it's just easier just to like slowly take him down, kill a pet, don't worry about it, and then just once you've killed the second pet, just nuke it.
Yeah,
like just obliterate it, because you can just turn Rexar into fine paste.
Well, somebody gave me the skip for Rexar. And you can pretty much skip all of that area if you turn right to the left and run out of the zone and up over the waterfall and kind of pop out right by the room for Rexar. It's possible. Somebody sent me a clip of it. It does work.
Oh, yeah, no.
It will work, but you have to be overly careful about it when you get the rings that spawned around you, and if you run into them, you get disoriented. You don't want to do it that way.
Yeah, but at this point, like, your item level should be high enough that you should be memento farming anyway. So you want to kill everything.
Well, now, yes, but like I didn't get my 5 mask until last week, so I was still having issues with Rexar because he is a-hole.
Yeah.
I still have to do a 5 mask run. I'm scared to do it by myself, but I want that achievement so much.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I think I got Mad World before we did Ahead of the Curve.
Yeah.
We got ahead of the curve like 8-9 weeks into the patch. So
I just got rank 15 with Cap and Harlow's help. I'm gonna go in and solo, and I still need a few more masks to get to work on the mask runs, but I'm slowly getting there.
Frazley, I can help you get the mask or unlock the mask if you want.
Oh, thank you.
I finally got a rank 3 infinite stars, and that kind of made my life a hell of a lot easier, which I hate that it just boosted it so much. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it does. Absolutely. I just prefer Twilight Devastation in general.
Well,
mostly because AoE packs, infinite stars can just choose to go where it wants, and it doesn't really help unless, like, stuff where you'd be on Thrall is fine. Yeah. Because Thrall's going to be there for a while. But, like, an AoE pack, like, if you do Rexar and leave all the trash up, then you don't know where that stack's going. So, Twilight Devastation just minces half the stuff anyway.
It really does. I mean, I can see how that would work, especially with being melee. But Twilight Devastation is not anything that dropped for me as a ranged boom kid. So
true.
I think I have one piece of Twilight Devastation, and I think it's only rank 1, and it's on my Guardian set.
Hottie Chicken saying, can I just say I would never have completed my first vision run without the Scruffy Druid kindly saying, there isn't an actual book, dear.
She started Fear and Flesh, and you had to go get the book. And
I'm with you.
In her defense, we're so used to looking for quest items.
Yeah.
She was very hung up on trying to find a book in the zone. I'm like, it's not a book. I mean, you will get the book at the end, but you're not looking for anything like that. You just need to complete the achievement.
You're
the objective. And she was running all over the zone looking for a book, and I'm like, stop thinking about the book. Just go through and kill things.
I think we've got to the point where none of us are reading actual quests anymore and just looking at quest objectives and just be going, I need to go in here and I need to go get this. Where do I go for it? Yeah. And like, if we just read the quest text, it tells us you just need to kill the boss and you get it. And we don't ever read the thing anymore.
Nope.
There are times I do, but I skim it real fast and I don't remember, like when I was in Revendreth and that one character needed me to do something over there, but I didn't because,
I think a large part of that is because the game is so tailored to forcing us to get to endgame and just completing the stuff. And the same thing, especially with world quests popping up, especially if we decide to actually stream this as well. Like, we don't want to be sat there reading quest text forever. Yeah. We just want to talk to chat, talk about the game, and just get on with things. We don't want to be reading quest text. Unless, like, it's a new expansion, in which case I want to know everything.
I like reading the quest text. I like trying to do voices for it, even though
I was doing that on Lore Master. I've been doing that.
I try to read the quests, but if I'm questing with people, they just want to go in and kill everything, and I'm like, I'm still reading. I haven't even accepted the quest yet.
Yeah,
I just want to read it.
Or when you're in a cutscene and they are already in another room when you finally get out of the cutscene.
Yeah, it's like my first time here, and like there's no end game way to go back and watch that cutscene after you're done, which would be nice. Be like Adventure Guide, you've already seen this cutscene, watch it again.
Actually, there is. They've been putting it in each expansion
since Warlords. They've been putting it in. Like in the garrison, you can talk to someone to see like the big major cutscenes, not the actual fully animated ones. You know, there's 3 tiers of cutscene. Yeah, there's the one where your character's in. There's the fully animated ones, and then there's the CG ones. Like the fully animated ones, like since Warlords, there's been someone who you can talk to actually go and view those. But the ones where your characters are in them, you can't.
I think there's even one that's a toy. So you have the toy, and that one is in Broken Shore, Dalaran. You get a toy, and you can see cutscenes.
So what would you say has been the biggest challenge that we've had to overcome for streaming?
Having the willpower to actually want to do it. When you first decide you want to stream, you've got all the energy for it in the world. It's just like discovering a new hobby or something else. Like, you've got all the time in the world for it, but you get to a point where you don't see any particular growth or anything else, and you're like, well, am I wasting my time doing this? And it's one of the big things that I've said to Frazley on many occasions. It's the reason I don't look at numbers for anything. Like, I don't look at numbers for the YouTube videos. I don't look at numbers for how well the podcast does. I don't look at how many people are watching the stream at any time, because at the end of the day, you're just going to get yourself worked up into a tizzy. Because if everybody wants to grow their product. Like, it's simple. Like, you want to have more people enjoy it. But if you worry too much about how many people are watching, you're not concerning yourself about how good your product actually is.
Yeah, you start being reactionary to try and bring that in, and that's not a way to do any type of business.
No.
And you need to do what works for you and keep building yourself. Because if you switch gears just to cater to everything else, you're not going to have any fun anymore. No. You're not going to enjoy what you do, and you're going to burn yourself out.
I came to that realization when I was working on this show, and I would be like afraid, like when it was not someone's cup of tea, I would be afraid, but I realized I got to attract people that like me, and I got to be me without changing.
It's just like getting to know people in real life. Like, not everybody's going to like you or get on with you or anything else. And the same as like, your content isn't going to be for everyone. Like, you might get that viral moment where you get spread around and people will come and see if this is how things are. And, you know, I think the only real time you need to be looking at numbers is if you have enough people to start considering if you can make it into a full-time job, and that's what you want to do. Yeah. Because it's at that point that you've got to decide to treat it as a business if you want to do that. And you've got to do it as if you were working then. And that's how you've then got to treat it, that you're getting up and you're going to work. And it's at that point that I would suggest, you know, moving your PC or whatever into a different space than what you're sleeping in, or, you know, because I'm in my bedroom because I'm in a shared house. But Frazley, I believe your setup's in a completely different room. Scruff and Emma, I'm not sure about you guys, but if I had a place of my own, and I'd probably still have my PC in my bedroom. But if it was a business and I had enough people to consider it a business, then I would absolutely have to move it into a different room, because that way I'm separating my business from my personal life.
Yeah, I've definitely moved mine. One for like noise volume, because I do share a house with other people, but two, it is nice going to that area, being able to mentally be like, okay, I'm in here. It's game time.
Yeah, for me, it's like I've been toying with making like maybe kind of sound buffer walls. When my boyfriend's in the room, you hear his chair, his eating, and it's just like, I need some walls up for the professionalism. No one needs to hear a squeaky chair, especially when he doesn't move.
Our raid group is always surprised that Mr. Scruffy and I are not in the same room. Like, are you kidding me? We don't work in the same room, and there's no way we would game together in the same room. We'd probably just make each other angry. And so we have two different rooms.
And there are certain games where it's actually better if you're not in the same room, because then like one of you could be like the imposter. I'm thinking of like Among Us or Enemy on Board. and Scruffy, you brought up a challenge that I can definitely relate to.
And again, this is not just for streaming, but one of the biggest challenges that a lot of streamers run into is comparing themselves to other streamers.
Yes.
Because they're always thinking, well, this person has this many people and stuff. Why don't I have this? And it's not like that. Your competition is you. And I mean, I know I kind of ran into that a little bit earlier this week. I was looking at a stream like, no, I love this person. A couple days ago, they only had this many people, and now they've got this many. And like, what is it? And then I had to kick myself and go, no, Scruff, stop.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult, and I'll use Frazley as an example compared to myself, because it's quite easy. Like, we can both stream Warcraft, but we both stream different parts of Warcraft. Like, he'll stream his weekly stuff with Capo and Harlow, and then, when he's not doing stuff with them, he's doing solo stuff. But I find solo stuff to be quite tedious to want to have to stream. But then you've also got to have an audience, It's just like, it's at that point, and especially where a lot of us are all going to stream the same sort of content, you've got to also differentiate your point where you've got to not treat your friends as competition.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the minute you do that, you're only going to strain friendship,
Yeah, because it's about networking, and
absolutely.
And you're going to resent your friends, and you're not going to be able to celebrate their success, which is a very dangerous place to be, because then when you need them to celebrate your success, it's going to be much harder to ask for that. And Hottie Chicken says, I agree with that. Connecting with others is more important than the numbers. Yeah, absolutely. I remember the time I ever got 45 viewers was because of networking with Des Mephisto.
Warrior God.
Yes. Oh, yes. When I say networking, I don't mean like that. I meant more friendship. But it was through that connection that we made that he was able to raid me, and it like boosted my numbers for that day. But yeah, it's other streamers are not competition.
Right. We're going to get into it a little later with one of your other questions and stuff, but the networking and talking with other streamers and being part of other people's communities is a big part of things that people forget to do with streaming. Yeah. There's a lot of people that jump into it like, well, I'm just going to stream every single day and that's it. And I'm going to be big. You have to do the rest of it, which is the networking and hanging out with other folks and making friends elsewhere and not being a dick in other people's streams. And
100%. Yeah.
You've got to be friends with folks and you gotta make friends.
Or you can be a bum like me and I'll just hop onto random people's stream.
Yeah.
Sit to say hi, you know.
Hey, you're always welcome on our streams. So, and what would you say is the best thing that has happened to us since we started? This recent time has really shown me that you guys are my friends, and I would be in a whole different place if it wasn't for, you Pete. Pete look at the camera being like, me? Yeah, it's you. Because it's like, I've been able to sing with Scruffy. I've been able to talk with Pete on a podcast and on stream and do stuff. It's that stuff that I feel like I'm not missing people because I'm talking with people. And that has really been some of the best fun. I will leave stream just laughing because of all that.
Finding a niche that works well on my stream. And one of the best things I've done is the podcast with Frazley, because I really enjoy that content.
Yeah, me too.
And making the format of doing like the Let's Race streams with Andy, who I do the charity streams with as well. Because like the idea was just like we've been friends for like years. Like it's ridiculous how long we've known each other, and that's all through like the Sonic community and everything else like that. Turns out like we were both going to like the UK fan convention when it happened in London. And he only lived like not that far away from us, and we didn't even realize. He found me through the forum, sent me a message. We met up at the convention. We kind of hung out ever since. And then he's been streaming. He does really well over there. Gets some decent does a lot of decent things. He's just done his 5-year anniversary on Twitch. Shaved his head for charity and everything else. And he's a crazy fool.
Yes,
it's coming up to 3 years. Like we've been doing like charity runs now. We do it once a year, and I'm really proud of the work that we do for that. It's been getting bigger every year, and we've just turned it into like a monthly exercise where we just race against each other in games, and that's another form of content that I'm really proud of. I'm not sure if that's the best thing, but it's like content that I'm proud of doing. I enjoy just playing games with people more than I do just having a stream up on my own. That's the thing.
The Twitch things that we do every month, and like Spaz and I on my Friday and Saturday, that is so much fun because it's like I get an opportunity to hang out with people to like share that with other people, and it's fun. Like how I do my singing as good as I can, and then I get to hear you singing amazing well. Stuff like that is a lot of fun. And I had fun when we did Torghast and Alpha, Pete. And I'm like, I know I could buy an EU subscription, but I got enough to do on my US subscription.
Well, I think for at least FrazlCast being starting from day one to now, the growth that's constantly happening with FrazlCast, you're still finding your niche and it's changing, it's growing. As soon as it stops growing and stops being something, that's when it gets stale and boring. But I know for FrazlCast, it's always improving and going in different directions. That it's one of the best things you can have with a podcast. It's just keep growing.
I know on my end, for me, I don't know if it's just one thing that has been the best thing that happens. It's always amazing to me when you're reminded of, or when it's pointed out, what you are doing. And people recognizing you for that. I'm always shocked when somebody has a good thing to say about Positive Potshot, or somebody that I didn't know had actually noticed me, like at BlizzCon meeting Tosh with Frazley.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like how do these people know me? Like when I met Frosty and Kaz, it's like, how do these people know who I am when I'm just kind of in my own little area in the world? And it always kind of makes you step back and go, okay, maybe I'm doing a good thing. And I love those reminders.
Epicinsanity told me he hopped into a voice chat and someone was like, Epicinsanity, what time is it? And he was like, standing around the table. And Paulie last night said he was running a group in WoW and mentioned Frazley. He was like, oh, Frazley, I know Frazley. How do they know?
It really is amazing because it kind of, this world is so big, but you get wonderful little reminders of just how small it can be and how we're all connected to each other.
Yeah.
It's always
small
just blows my
matter.
mind, and
Like-
it's enough to kind of make you go, okay, I'm doing a good thing, and on those days when you're thinking you're not. So.
Like it's one of these things. Like one of the regulars over in Andy's stream, I turned around and we were just talking about the podcast I do with Frazley, and then this regular in Andy's stream turns around and goes, "Frazley, do you know Lady Emma? Does that mean you know Lady Emma then?" And I'm like, I mean, I don't really spend a lot of time with her, but I know of her. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's real small world sometimes.
It's very. I think I actually know who Andy is actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because he hangs out with one of my friends.
Asmodan.
Yes.
Oh, Asmodan, yes.
And I know him since he was 13. So
Oh,
we have a long history.
that's like Korka and I. That's awesome.
I want us to kind of bring up some of our, these are miscellaneous streaming tips that we have from our experience.
So the best thing I'm going to say, like when it comes to streaming tips for yourself is you need to find a time which works for you. You've got to balance it around your personal life and work and everything else. Now, it's a little bit easier given the current crisis going around the world right now. My life, for example, is I get up, I look after myself, and then between the hours of 10 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, I periodically have to look after my nan. So I can't stream during the day because I'm going to be leaving the computer for times. After that, I aim to stream for 8 until whenever. Now, obviously, there's circumstances why I haven't been doing that of late, but
Yeah.
I try to always make sure I have the podcast on a given day. Specifically, the time will change based on the guest. If you try to keep stuff on a given schedule, then people who may come and want to be regulars and find your content and enjoy your content, then if they know that you're on a specific schedule, you can do it. Now, I can't so much say about YouTube or Mixer streaming, but Twitch has a lot of stuff that's built in below with all the add-ons and everything else where you can put schedules and you can say hi and put links to all your other bits and pieces that you do around the internet. But then you've also got to find what's best for you to run in terms of your content. And I would always suggest playing a game that you're really familiar with, to start with. That way, you're going to be playing the game that you know off the back, like the back of your hand, literally. Yeah. That way, if somebody does come in and chat, then, that first person that comes in and says hello, it's going to throw you off because you're used to just playing games in silence and just you don't have to worry about it. You just sit there and play it. But then if someone comes in, because you know the game as well as you do, you're not going to have to be very distracted and you can talk to people quite freely. That's the biggest hurdle when you start as well, is learning to talk while you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if nobody's there, because otherwise people will just turn up and then they'll just be like, eh. I've already said don't focus too much on numbers. Mm-hmm. When it comes to the Twitch program itself, affiliate and partner, affiliate is really easy to get, especially if you jump into the system and you got a bunch of friends that help, because they'll host you, they'll raid you, they'll advertise you to get your channel going and everything else. I think when I started streaming in January last year, I got affiliate in 9 days because I just knew people and they just helped me out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
9 days. I got my first Twitch payout after 18 months, and I got my second Twitch payout after 12. The proof is there that it grows, but it's going to be slow growth.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big difference between getting into streaming now and getting into streaming when it was new, 10, 12 years ago, when the technology was, new.
Yeah.
And you had to have a lot of expendable income to get your decent internet and your machine up to a point.
It's not about the numbers. Numbers are important for 2 milestones, affiliate and then partner. And I'd say, affiliate's easier to get usually. The 3 concurrent viewers can be difficult. And that one took me a bit. And I know for some friends who are working on it and some who took a while. This podcast helped with that because I would stream live even before I got that, and it helped me get there. The partner one, it's a dream of mine, but
I think it's a dream for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a part of all of us that go out there and we're like, I would absolutely love to make this a career.
Yeah.
Because if you can make a career out of it and you can do it well, then you can absolutely make some decent money out of it. Especially when it comes to November, December, advertising revenue is off the fucking charts. And I can tell you that because I've done YouTube since 2013. I know those 3 months of just Christmas advertising is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But there's so much you could do. And since I'm talking about advertising, that's the biggest thing. like advertise your shit. It's the most important thing you could do, and you can't be afraid to do it. And I'm not saying jump into Frazley's stream and just be going like, hey, twitch.tv/Project Phoenix Productions, youtube.com/Project Phoenix Productions, come see me, give your boy a follow, give me your money, come subscribe and everything else. That would be cool.
I will bear bomb ban you so fast.
If I know you, I will shout you out and all that. But yeah.
Yeah. But don't just jump into somebody else's stream and just ruin their content, like their chat with that.
I mean, you can do that, but you're going to look horrible and probably not get the reaction that you want.
Yeah.
Like a good example, you will get this, especially if you decide to be a variety streamer, is going to be, because you're playing so many different games, you're going to get a lot of hardcore people that will play the game. And as Scruffy mentioned earlier, they'll probably try to backseat, but you'll get a lot of people that will go follow for follow. I'll follow you on my burner account. Like, go and follow me on this account. And, you know, it turns out that account is just garbage and has nothing to do with your channel whatsoever.
Follow for follow does nothing if they're not going to come back and watch your stream.
No.
A lot of people do milestones for followers. It's brilliant. You can absolutely have 100 followers. It's a brilliant milestone. Personal milestones are always good to have. But something you need to remember, and I'll tell you this again, for 7 years on YouTube, you will get about 10% of anybody that is followed on Twitch watching you at any given time.
Yeah.
When you realize that the biggest hang up for people getting partner and for affiliate is having the concurrent viewers, again, with follow for follow, if they're not going to come back and actually watch your stream, you're not going to get concurrent viewers. Yeah. It's pointless.
Yeah.
I know somebody who had 65,000 followers, and he had like an average of like 40 people watching. Was he buying followers? Don't know. Was he doing follow for follow? Most likely. Those people don't come back. They don't care for you. It's just a boost to numbers. Because a lot of the time, they'll just sell accounts with like, oh, we got X amount of followers. Come buy this account. It's pointless. Like,
I'll follow people I know and add them to my auto host list with the intent that I do want to go check them out on Twitter, because I want to support my friends. But yeah, no, if I don't know somebody and I don't get a recommendation for somebody, I'm a little less likely to follow them unless I know that they do good stuff.
I only follow people that I want to follow.
Oh, that's why you haven't followed me. I get it. It's fine.
Oh, snap. Shots fired.
Well, are you following me?
Yes.
So I want to bring up something that I also have been doing in the numbers. I did an experiment a few months ago. I turned on view count because I had it off for a long time. I turned it back on for a little bit thinking, okay, it would encourage me. But then I'm actually finding sometimes if I try to be me and I see the count go down, I try to ignore it, but mentally it's still back there. So I'm actually turned off view count again because I'm like, if I get the concurrent viewers for partner, great. At this point, I don't want to give myself the mental strain of how many viewers do I have right now, and like I don't see that.
It gives you a different outlook on how you're streaming. It comes to the point of, is what you're doing right to get that many people? Like the biggest content I do that gets people watching is the races that I do with Andy and the podcast. Like they're the bit. Like if I decide to just stream a random game on my own, few people will turn up. A lot of people come and watch me play Dead by Daylight because they just want to see me jump out of my skin.
Yeah,
but that's about the extent of that one. I don't know. There's a lot of tools these days which make streaming easy. One of them is learning how to raid other streamers. It's a good way to help build network and build up your things. Andy is a very good example of this. Like, he networks so well with so many different people, and he sees so many different people come to his stream who he's raided, who he's followed, who he's interacted in their chat with. It's the easiest way to network is sending people who Like, often if I finish a stream, I'll probably raid Frazley because he's about one of the only people I know that's streaming when I finish, who's like a small enough streamer, trying to say it without being offensive in any way, who'll appreciate that, and I'll do it with other people as well. Like, if you go and send a raid to someone who's got 1,000 people with like a raid of 2 to 4, they'll thank you for it, but what are you doing? You could chat, but your chat might get lost in that message. Will that person return the favor unless you've like worked with them personally? Probably not, because you're not on their radar,
Yeah.
It's all about helping yourself grow in a network and then helping your friends as well to a certain degree.
Building a community is what it is.
You need to help yourself and help your friends, because the people who you talk to on Twitch and like this here, You know, we're more likely to help each other out, but you've got to build that.
Yeah.
And you can't just, the problem is that you also need to do it. You need to not try and become friends with somebody who's larger as well. Like, if you want to try and get, and if they want to work with you, that's down to them as well. But trying to get someone larger just to send them their community, it might not end up meshing with a community you build as well.
Yeah.
So you got to be very careful of that.
And Scruffy, you brought up a point on use what you have.
Yeah, that's kind of a setback to a lot of people, and for a lot of different things. Is there like, I have to have this gear and I have to be able to do this before I can do this. With streaming, yeah, you got to have a computer to do it, or that can handle it before you actually try and do it. But if you don't have a camera, so what? Go for it.
Yeah.
You know, throw up a picture. You know, you don't have a stream deck. You really don't need one.
No.
You know, you really just kind of need to make sure that you've got the tools to do it. But like, if you wanted to start a vlog and do something like that, if you don't have a camera but you've got a phone, use that. And it's the same thing with a lot of different things. If you are always waiting for the perfect conditions to come before you start something or before you go chase after something, you are going to be waiting a very, very long time because it's never going to be perfect.
No.
So
Absolutely.
you're just kind of giving yourself an out to play it safe and not get out of your comfort zone and go for it. So use what you have and get going with it, and then you can slowly start upgrading as you go.
Yeah.
Like a good example is, I want to do a podcast. I'm not comfortable doing it myself. Frazley lets me do a segment. He doesn't have to,
Right.
but it's something I get to be creative. I get to write, even if it's a baby step, something small. It's get somewhere,
Yeah.
and then you can go further on. And if I feel like I want to start streaming, because I'm the only one who doesn't actually stream, but if I wanted to start streaming, I know I have the support system with great people who will encourage me, tell me how to do little things to improve. That's always handy. And we have a really good community for that support system. There's tons of people who
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the amount of times that I've gone to Frazley and said, hey, how do you make this work? It's ridiculous. The majority of our like running dialogue are questions that I have that Frazley is gracious enough to answer. And then there's occasions where I answer things for him, but yeah.
So there's a great support. So it's like, that's the best way to start is, hey, I have a question. How do I do this? Or what's the bare minimum I need so I can start this?
Yeah. And I'd say only do upgrades if, one, you're like me and you're not married and you have no kids. So, and two, if you love doing it and you want to like mess around with it. The reason I'm at the step I'm at is I love all the toys. I love working on it.
Oh yeah. That was one of the first things I heard about when I started streaming was, wow, why is your audio so good? I'm like, well, I'm a nerd, and it's all the audio equipment that I have though is kind of budget-ish, but it's good enough that it does what it's supposed to do, and we've got it set up that it does it well. So.
And one bit of being a podcaster is I try to have good audio for the podcast, and that comes along well for the stream.
As Scruffy said, using what you have, you don't need to have a massive, like, you don't need to put so much money in. Like,
no,
if you've literally got a console, they're so up to date that you could literally just stream straight off a console.
Oh, yeah.
You don't need to do what I do, which is like try to have something as perfect as it's gonna look. Like Frazley knows, like I spend a ridiculous amount of time putting stuff together.
I do the same. I've been in OBS for like 3 hours one time. Like I gotta get it exactly.
Remember when I said don't compare yourself to other streamers?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
But using what you have, and also realize that you don't have to have really expensive equipment to be able to do it. As long as your computer can run it, you could make a cheapo mic sound good. If you could only afford a Yeti, or if you could only afford, maybe like $100 mic, not a big deal. The same thing in voice acting. The most expensive equipment does not always make it the best. So
£100 mic with an arm, and there's a not a condenser, but it's got like a pop option, like £100.
I was so excited that the last VO conference I went to, my little microphone here was in the mic shootout.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, that's my baby. And it's not that expensive of a mic.
I'll tell you the funniest thing with social distancing and quarantines and working from home is you can honestly, when you do video conferencing with the other people you work with, you can tell who the gamers are,
yes,
who are the content creators, and who are people that are just working.
Yeah,
you know.
My work makes me cringe anytime there's a video conference because a lot of them have like the crappy headset mics that you hear every little thing that's hitting against their shirts. And they don't have like, push to talk. So you hear everything and their kids in the background yelling at them. And yeah.
God.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I'm a throttle you, Frazley.
When they set up their laptop in the kitchen, which is obviously so echoey and everything.
Yes.
Hello! Hey, I'm sorry. What's going on over here? I'm in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm cooking some dinner. Yeah, I'm cooking my dinner over here. I'm getting some nice little asparagus for dinner. How's everybody doing? What's the stock report for today? Oh, interesting.
However,
Can I ban Frazley? Is that possible?
if you do have the money that you just want to throw at equipment,
Right.
you can just become the next Frazley.
Right.
But I would suggest get your toes into it first before you do it.
Right.
Because what if you get all the stuff, end up hating streaming?
Absolutely.
Try it first. That's the key thing. Try first.
Like buying my cam link and then finding out it really doesn't work with my camera.
Yeah.
That was shame on me. I really should have done more research on that. So
That's okay. I'm jealous of Frazley's camera because my camera is so old that it came from a fitness game from Wii. Not a Wii U, Wii.
I started all this over time. I started on a Blue Yeti, and nothing against Blue Yeti. It's just it has to be in a good environment. But yeah, no, I started on all this stuff, and I only started upgrading because I was having fun. And Scruffy, you brought up if you're having fun, so will your chat.
Right. I'm really big on, there are people that have personas when they stream and they make it work, but I'm very, very big on be yourself.
Yeah.
Because the thing about when I stream, the biggest thing I think of is I'm really just kind of a person that wants to hang out and play games with other people.
Same.
That's really what I do. I like sharing the stories in Warcraft. So doing the voices and stuff for quests are a lot of fun. And I get into it. Other people might not, but that's what I'm into. And I like sharing that. I like talking about the stories. Last night we were back and forth about Nathanos and how he is a dick, and all the other fun stuff. And maybe we can murder him in Shadowlands or something and talking about the story. But if I was putting on an act, none of that would be coming out. And I like connecting with my community as close as we can be as friends. And if I were faking it, I would not be able to do that. So
Fake it till you make it, sister.
oh gosh, man.
Yeah.
It's not me. I don't think I'd be friends with Frazley if I was some ridiculous high and mighty druid.
Frazley is like the fakest person I know. Like,
He is lying to us because he's a gnome and he's freaking tall. I come up to like his belly button.
Okay. I heard the best example of who Frazley is. I'm going to say Fight Club first, but then this is a bad example. Do you remember Merton on YouTube who would like play the piano for chat roulette?
no.
Yeah.
So Merton would go on random chat roulettes and he would like play a song based of what they're doing. And like he just became famous. And at one point, Merton had an interview saying, "Who's Merton?" He said, "Okay, Merton is me." And he forces me to be more of like, I'm shy in real life, but Merton's.
You're saying that Frazley is an extension of yourself.
Yes, less shy, less afraid, because I'm afraid.
So you're split personality. So this is you in person, you're this one little quiet,
Frazley's
tall
the
person.
He's the projection of the things that you want to make better about yourself.
Exactly. Yes.
Frazley's a sociopath.
No. I'm not Tyler from Fight Club. No. Fight Club was a bad example.
You broke the first rule about Fight Club.
Oh, no, not about Fight Club. Okay.
Talking about a person in Fight Club's not talking about Fight Club. I don't know.
And yes, I'd say my last thing is have fun. And remember why you do it. And that's why I turned off the numbers on
To
mine.
make money.
No. If you get into anything to make
To
make
punt
money,
the gnomes.
well, as long as you pay me, you can do it. Like bits and subs.
I thought streaming wasn't about making money though, Fraz, so we should be able to punt you for free.
No.
Actually,
Burkhart
he
said the
doesn't
same
make
thing that
the
I was
money.
thinking about. So
he makes the money, but because I own his soul, the money comes to me. So he's actually not making the money. I am.
Wait, no. Okay, well then, Emma, good thing I haven't made any money on Twitch. You don't look at my bank account. Don't look at my bank account.
Burkhart says in chat that it's not uncommon in D&D, and what they're referring to, I believe, is making a character that is the better parts of yourself that you want to see. That is exactly what I do whenever I'm making characters in D&D, is that I want to see the better version of myself. The part that I don't feel like I'm embodying right now. My characters in D&D are the better parts of me that I want to see magnified. Like, the strong, courageous, and not exactly murder hobo-ish, but it could happen.
Dorvin's not quite that in D&D. Dorvin's like some of the worst parts of Frazley. So just FYI, if you look at the D&D, but Frazley is who I want to be, the better parts of who I want to be.
I'm so gonna punt that gnome. My Dragonborn is gonna punt that dude across the dungeon. It's gonna be amazing when it happens.
How do we open this door? We can't. It's locked from the other side. But there's a weak spot on this wall. Pointed hat on Frazley.
That's actually why I made her a Dragonborn. I'm like, if I can't pick the lock, I'm just gonna breath weapon the door down.
That's it.
I would say that we've all brought up the fact of chat. And one thing I want to say to anybody who's streaming, never call out lurkers. Lurkers are great because you are connecting with somebody, but never, ever call out lurkers.
Okay, I'm going to sound like a noob right now. What's a lurker?
So a lurker is someone that will be in your chat and they'll be there, but they won't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know that sometimes that you'll have like just the bots, the view bots and everything else that'll be there. That'll just because Twitch just has shitloads of them.
Commander root.
Yeah. Among others.
What was electric skateboard was one for the longest time.
Yeah.
I think they disappeared.
If you've got the personality to do it, and you'll sometimes see it in like larger streams. Because sometimes people are just there until someone just calls out a lurker just for them to go, hey, hi. Someone will just like, I'm sub to at least, I think, one channel, which I go to occasionally because they stick all the VODs up on YouTube and that's a lot easier because they're Welsh. So it's another British streamers, but I'm normally streaming when they are. So I don't get to do it, but I'll pop in every now and again and I'll lurk because I'm doing other things. But I'll jump in, redeem my sub, lurk for a bit.
Yeah. If someone says something, I will be like, hey, how you doing? And all that. And I'll thank people for doing things. But other than that, I don't want to call it out. And Ali says, yeah, if you call them out, they will shy away from your stream. Some people are more comfortable lurking. And I'm like, absolutely.
Some people are.
Some people are lurking because they've got it on in the background and they can't interact all that much.
Yeah, I have a friend who watches his chat like a hawk. The minute he gets a viewer, and if it's me, he'll just call me out, and I'm just like, no, I'm not there to be called out.
Yeah, no.
I'm just gonna go. I'm literally there to help you. I don't need to chat. I just want to have you on in the background, and he just calls me out the minute I'm in there, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, down, bro.
Cannot be dealing with it.
Because lurkers are 100% welcome, and I love lurkers. Never call out a lurker. I'd even say don't treat anybody differently, whether they sub or don't sub, bit or don't bit, chat or don't chat. Don't ever treat people differently. Because everybody who does anything on your stream, they matter. They matter. If they just watch, they matter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other tips before we head on to the question for the community?
Don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
Don't be a gnome.
Hey! Hey!
No,
I can bite kneecaps.
Don't be an a-hole. I mean, we talked about it earlier, hanging out in other people's streams and stuff, and no, we never really just flat out said it, but it's a huge no-no to advertise your stream in somebody else's stream because you are
normally.
I mean, it's you're going in and you're trying to like headhunt their followers and their viewers and things. What you need to be doing is when you go hang out in other people's streams is you need to be getting to know people and making friends.
And normally they'll have a bot command, which will be a shout out.
Yeah. You make friends enough with people that they will, when you're interacting with them, they'll be like, oh, hey, have you met this person? They do this, or they have commands for it. If you go around making friends with folks and hanging out in other people's streams and getting to know the community, you are building your own community by getting known as somebody people want to interact with, and you don't have to mention your stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Again, it leads to the whole rating and following and stuff. Like, you will get more people if you're nice to folks.
I like what Mal C said. Be you. They will get curious and look for you. And I do it all the time from the live stream. Yeah. Right. I sometimes am the one that if I go into chat, I will have the bot say slow down because I'm so excited. I'm talking to the person in chat. I like chatting with. I love like redeeming people's channel points. On this episode, I wanted to ask people what streaming questions do you have, and or what streaming tips do you have? And these are from Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, and Twitch chat tonight.
Tom, it's not so much as a tip, but observing that I see sometimes with streamers and on social media, comparing they don't have viewers. And honestly, not only is this a massive turnoff on a personal level, but ultimately the person in charge of the content that goes out on your stream is you. You can't blame others for not watching. Sometimes it might take a while for what you're doing to click and gain traction. If you truly believe you're providing value, then stick at it. And don't be quick to judge your audience. It's not an easy road, but you got to be open to learning, networking, and find your place in a saturated market. Again, it's not easy, but all on you as a streamer to make your own opportunities.
Yeah, I was looking at a tweet from someone like that like Twitch added something and like, oh, great. Yes, I can do this with my 0 viewers. And that's not when it makes somebody want to come to you.
Like, it's what we mentioned earlier. You've got to find your niche. You've got to build your niche. And then, when you've actually got that community and that viewer base, then expand out.
Yeah.
Don't just keep throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks. But if you're going to call yourself a variety streamer, like, have some variety. Like, if you want to concentrate on one thing and then change down the road, do it. Set a schedule so that the people who do come to see your stuff hang around.
Yeah.
Right.
Biggest tip is that have a schedule.
I think that was the first email I got from Twitch when I tried to stream. Told me to have a regular schedule, a regular time, so people know where to call home, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
If they know that Frazley's going to be live at 9 p.m. EDT, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then not Saturday because he's going to be editing the podcast, but then he's live with me over on a Sunday, then they know where they're going to find him, and his audience is going to be there at that set time unless they've got, their own stuff, and people do.
Yeah.
People have got the stuff, but then you've got to remember you're essentially live TV. Like, you're putting on a program for people, and eventually you're going to have those people that are going to tune in because there's an advert somewhere and they want to see what else is on. And, it's at that point that you're using that advertising area to try and get a new viewer, and, if they think that you're better than the current programming that they're watching.
Yeah.
Set a time for the party and people will show up for the party. If you say you're
Absolutely.
having a party and you don't tell them what time, they're not going to show.
It's why I do my stream videos to be like, hey, and then like on some and on my streams, I'm trying to be like, hey, just so that over the next couple of days, here's when we're doing it this time. I try to let people know, hey,
Right.
when to expect me.
I'll try to edit out the expletives here a little bit. So, Capo has just got into streaming himself, and he says after a month of solid streaming on his channel, he's having a hard time hitting that average viewers to earn affiliate. Is it time to turn on the webcam and do various other bits, to get more bums in seats? He's seriously asking that because some of his streams are pushed into the 6 and 7 hour range. That usually gets 5 to 6 unique viewers over the course of the streams, but it's not long enough for them to count as concurrent viewers at any given time. So essentially the question is it wiser to stream for shorter periods to help the average, or keep slogging along and hope you can keep visitors long enough that they'll fall asleep watching and you can hit the requirement? Short streams. Use longer streams as incentives. If you want to look at the numbers and be reliant on numbers, use them as goals. You see a lot of streamers that will, if they hit 500 followers, they'll do a 12-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
If they hit 50 subs, they'll do like a 24-hour stream, and they'll do subathons and bits and pieces like that. Shorter streams where you can engage with anybody you can keep around, and it's going to be hard.
Mm-hmm.
Even though getting affiliate is really easy if you've got the backbone of people that are able to help you out when they're able to do so. You can't just expect to stream when... I can't stream when Frazley's streaming and expect to get a lot of viewers, because a lot of the people who come to see me have a lot of crossover with the people that want to go see Frazley.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this comes down to the live television debate. If I'm on at 8 p.m. and he's on at 8 p.m, but people prefer the Frazley show compared to the Pete show, people are going to go watch the Frazley show. It's just the way it happens. You can't expect to stream at the same time as someone that you'd like to help you out. And you can't expect them to help you out. Because again, your content might not hit the same niche that their community is there for. And sometimes you just have to hit your community. Like, you have to find that niche that you're good at, that people want to come and see you for. If you want to be loud and brash and everything else, then I'm sure you'll find people that'll find you loud and brash for. But again, you've got to advertise, and you've got to advertise to the right people. You need to be out there on the social media shouting from the rooftops that you're going to be live. you've got a lot of people you'll generally see will already have a known viewer or follower base that will come and see them live because they've been watching their content on YouTube for years, and they'll come and watch them do the stuff live. You know, it's just the way it happens. And some people just grow an organic base. A lot of the people I follow from Twitch these days are generally because Frazley's got bots set up in his Discord that shout out. It's about networking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think shorter streams is the answer that a lot of people in some of the Twitch groups I'm in are saying. Because again, if you're going for like 5 or 6 hours and you've had 3 people come, there is no way that's going to be 3 concurrent viewers for that entire time. However, if you get like 3 people in 2 hours, you're going to be closer to hitting that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I realize I think Cap is also a Warcraft streamer as well, but you know, Warcraft 2 hours is not like a lot of time to get anything done because there's just so much to do. I mean, even doing all your emissaries.
2 to 3 hours is a raid evening.
Yeah. And I mean, we think that we can't really do an awful lot in that time in the two hours or something, but keep it short for a little bit and then start to go longer when more people are concurrent.
Plus, you don't want to start streaming and then the norm for you is 6 to 7 hours in front of the machine.
Oh, yeah. Good God. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of need to have a potty break every once in a while. Maybe refuel and not just eat Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Yeah.
How dare you? That is the lifestyle
we
of a Twitch
actually
streamer.
didn't say that, Razarus, but it's true. Have a be right back screen.
Oh, absolutely. And because it's helpful. And I would
Right.
definitely say like there are days I do long streams, like 6 or 7 hours. If I'm like, if everything lines up and I'm feeling in for it. But a lot of my times I'm like 2 to 3 hours and then I will feel, okay, am I still energetic or am I getting tired? Stop. I will rest during the day to be ready for the night. I used to stream all the time. It just was not sustainable for me. I need to have rest time to work on podcasts and stuff for the stream and everything else, and just to rest.
I remember when you were streaming all the time. It was a little crazy.
Oh, it was crazy
You
for me
needed
too.
sleep.
Yeah.
You needed a sleep.
There are a few times if I really want the thing, I will like stay up past when I should be heading to bed. But I typically have in my mind, here's when I should probably be like, hey, everybody, I will see you again tomorrow.
But the biggest thing I'm going to say is don't focus on the numbers.
Yeah.
At all. You can't do it. If you want to be successful at anything when you're starting, you can't look at the numbers because it will drive you mad.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because you'll either have a day which is really good and you'll be like, this is brilliant. I had a good day. And then you'll do it again tomorrow. But people won't turn up.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, well, what did I didn't do anything different. You know, where are these people? You know, and it will drive you bonkers. And if you focus on the numbers, it's just going to drive you mad.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Focus on making the strong foundation and the framework to keep it all together. It'll start filling in. It really will.
I wonder why I go AFK, not change my BRB screen, and I come back and I've had more people watching the empty chair, you know, than me on the screen.
One of my buddies has a shout out for his chair. Like, I love it. It's the best thing in the world. Every time he's gone to go get water, like, shout out the chair. Watch the chair. The chair is amazing. Love Dennis.
I started playing today and I'm talking about one day like, oh, you've been looking at my webcam. You haven't been looking at the game. I'm sorry. And
I am waiting for that day that you stream and you have like Chocolate's knocked the camera over and it's just pointing at your feet. You just
there
have
was a
that
day I
on
was
as your
pointing
main
at
camera.
my
Hey, we had a day
Frazley.
we had to go to the ER one time during one of my streams, and I just was like, guys, I gotta go to the ER and shut everything off real quick. And we're sitting in the ER going, did I shut it off? Is it on
Okay.
the AFK screen? So
it was at my shorts. So, but I did not intend.
Frazley.
brown chicken brown
Close.
cow.
Legs on stream.
That's why chocolate camera is now different. So that way it's pointing away from my feet because I've had a
Chocolate's backside instead. Gahoon.
Oh, okay.
Gahoon's mouth.
Yes. Oh,
Oh
chocolate
my.
loves-
Cats have obsessions with showing their bum hole to
Oh,
your
they're
face.
like, oh yeah.
Yes.
He like chocolate will like lay his face on my face. I'm sleeping. He's like, hey, you want my butt on your face? I'm like, no, I don't want you to sit on my face.
I'm so glad my cats don't like to shove their butts in my face. Instead, my cat likes to sit in salad dressing. And ketchup.
Oh, I remember that episode.
From Honey Chicken, who's now one of my favorite people in the world. Goodness.
Yes.
Highly recommend. Check her out. She's cool. She's a neat little Aussie. How do you keep from burning out? And how do you balance streaming, personal game time, keeping up with the news of gaming, etc.? For me, it is always a work in progress. I realized today I hadn't actually looked at any gaming news all week, and I tweet out gaming news.
I think a large part is how you have your setup.
Right. A lot of it is putting that schedule together and having it something that you can do consistently. And
Yeah.
I'm the more inconsistent one in this group of folks because I'm always flying by the seat of my pants. But the best thing you can do is give yourself a schedule for everything. And here's what I'm doing today. Here's my job. Here's what I need to devote to that. And I'm going to take this block for this. And then, I need to make sure that I eat lunch here. There are times I do have to schedule myself a lunch break from, working from home because I'll forget.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I mean, you just schedule everything. And on those days that you just cannot make it all fit in, it's okay. You have to realize that it is okay. It's okay to take a mental break if you've set up yourself with your community well enough that they are genuinely liking you for you. They're going to understand if you need to take a step back and say, hey, I've got too much going on this day. I need to focus on this. They're going to be okay with it.
Yeah, because we all have lives.
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, lives kind of take precedent over streaming some days, which sucks, but it happens.
I mean, don't take a month off, but
Yeah.
but a lot of the communities that we've come across with everything that we do, everybody is so supportive of everybody that they want to see you healthy and happy. And they'll be the first people that go, hey, take a rest. If there's anything we can do, let us know. Because that's this community.
I also find friends help.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
true.
Sometimes you're either in a rut, you don't know what to talk about, or maybe you don't have time for the greatest news or the latest news, and you go to friends like, okay, give me, the Cliff Notes. What do I need to know? Or help me with whatever stream I'm doing. Invite a friend.
Right.
Yeah.
Gaming with friends is something that we can do too. I mean, jump in with your friends and or ask a buddy like, hey, I'm not really super feeling up to run anything solo today. I just don't think I'm that energetic. Do you want to do something together today? Would you be okay streaming it? Do dungeon runs with a friend, or just sit around and talk. Do a day where you're just chatting, or the sky is the limit, but know what your limits are and what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
My limit is this great big ocean between myself and the three of you.
No.
Yes.
I was over there in January.
Before the plague.
I know.
Before the plague.
Before the plague, just before the plague. And I'm so sad that I didn't go into the sweet shop and buy a big thing of flying saucers. I miss my flying saucers.
Can you send me Jammy Dodgers? I would totally love Jammy Dodgers.
Can I send you Jammy Dodgers? I could send you Jammy Dodgers.
I love Jammy Dodgers.
If you're sending her Jammy Dodgers, send me flying saucers.
I don't have that much money.
Flying saucers are cheap.
I have enough money to buy my Beppis Max. So that's about it.
Okay, I'll
There's that word again.
Money
Hey.
for flying saucers.
Oh, Tim Tams! Oh, I got Tim Tams from Cinder at BlizzCon. Oh, that was my favorite.
A Jammy Dodger Haughty Chicken is like, it's a biscuit. It's not a fucking cookie like you American people have, which is fucking doughy as shit.
Hey.
It's 2 bits of biscuit and it's got like sugary jam. Like it's not even like liquid. It's like
A jelly.
it's less of a jelly and more like a hardened jam. And because it's pretty sweet, but it's there between that. It's literally if you put 2 rich tea. Do you have rich tea biscuits in America?
Yes.
No, but not where I'm at. But
Yes,
for the
no.
Americans to understand what the taste is like, it's like a shortbread cookie, but much better
better.
with a jam. It's awesome.
For the podcast listeners, Hottie Chicken was asking what on earth is a Jamie Dodger, and Hottie Chicken said I can offer Tim Tams, and that's where I went on my
What
Tim
is a
Tam.
Tim Tam?
See, and Spaz is going to send me some. Apparently, if I send him Girl Scout cookies, he's
don't
asked.
have Tim
So
Tams.
I'm on the hunt for the Girl Scout cookies.
We don't have Tim Tams on this tiny little island.
What?
Tim Tams are like chocolates, kind of like chewy chocolates. If I remember, because I had them at BlizzCon. I remember but they were the hit of our room. And I'm gonna say that that burnout. One thing I would encourage if you're not feeling a stream, don't do it, but also do it sometimes. There are times that I don't feel it for it, and I get onto it, and it helps me sometimes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, it's true. I wanted to cancel all of last week or this week.
I
Everything.
find even just with Frazley, because he has energy, like I told him, it's like, all right, you want me to do my segment? And I'm like, I'm not feeling up to it. Okay, we need to talk because Frazley for me gives me the energy.
Aw.
Usually by the time of finishing the podcast, the stream, I have all this energy and now I'm like, I can't go to bed now. Frazley wild me up.
Frazley is very infectious.
He is.
His laughter and his energy. Honestly, if you don't feel like doing it, I would never push yourself to do something.
No.
because
Right.
It's the same if you're depressed or anxious or suffering from any mental thing, and you would push yourself to do something when you don't want to do it, and it's only going to make you feel worse. Yeah, it might be the opposite. You like once you get into it, you might feel better than the fact that you're actually doing it, and sometimes that can work.
Yeah.
But I would never push yourself to do something if you're not in the right frame of mind for
No.
doing it.
Or you could start it, and if you're still not feeling it, then you can end it early as well.
Yeah.
There's always multiple options that you can do. But do what's best for you and what you feel.
Right. Knowing what you're capable of and knowing what your limits of, and also knowing what you want to get out of your stream is going to help you be able to set those rules and schedules so that way it won't burn you out. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason to be streaming every single day and then burn yourself out quickly about it.
Yeah.
So set yourself some limitations.
Remember why you do it. Remember what's the purpose of it. That's why I turned off numbers, and it's helped me again. And because it's like I'd rather focus on am I having fun? But one thing that brings me fun though is when we have trivia. One card.
I'm going to ask you a question first.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Is this from Warcraft Trivial Pursuit that's out of date?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
That poor game. It's gonna be like all rewritten and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Oh, if it gets rewritten, then we'll have a new trivia. But yeah, that's what this is. And the winner gets anything from the Gnome.live merch store.
Right, okay.
And then otherwise, the non-winners get one of the lovely mugs. So because we have
I need that Brie mug, man.
yeah.
I love my Be Awesome mug, but now I need the Brie one. Jeez.
And Pete, I can send you a mug so that way you can have coffee. Remember me. So
Promise you it holds tea just well. Just fine.
Yes.
I promise.
I have too many mugs. I don't need any more. If I win, I'll donate my mugs to chat.
okay.
Aw.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's so nice.
Yeah. The first question is: the Argent tournament was held in which Northrend zone? Pete.
Ice Crown.
Correct.
Hooray.
It's on the board.
I heard Argent tournament and I just had to hold just a little bit because I wasn't sure if it was going to be some trick question like daily quest. You can pick up many of the daily quests and they send you to see the Lady of the Lake, which is one of the zones that they're in.
No, not Zuldazar. Oh gosh, it was Gundrak. That one.
Yeah.
So who do what the
It's
I thought
Zuldrak.
it was the forest.
Gundrak,
The tropical forest
Howling
is where you
Forest,
get the
yeah.
flower.
Yep.
Next question. What is the name of the class mount that can be summoned by Death Knight characters? Emma.
I am totally taking a guess, but Warhorse?
Nope. Scruffy?
Archerish Charger or Death Charger?
Yes, that's it. That's
Oh.
Charger.
I thought you were talking about the actual Legion class, man. I forgot that the Trivial Pursuit was fucking it's a Pandaria.
What does that one go up to? Pandaria? Is that
Yeah,
it?
Pandaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which legendary Pandaren brewmaster is featured in the opening?
Chen Stormstout.
Correct! What mount is rewarded for completing the achievement? What a long, strange trip it's been. Pete.
It is the Violet Proto-Drake.
Correct! Nice! What is the name of the race of large warriors native to the Howling Fjord? Scruffy?
Why am I doing this?
I don't know. Making noises.
And I completely blanked. I wanted to say Valkyr, and that's not it.
Begins with a V, though.
Valajar.
No.
No? That's the thing.
Pete?
Right, cool.
Correct.
Vicruel, that's it. Valkyr, Vicruel, Valajar, Fortawatch, Virture.
One of those things, yes.
Boy, I'm getting old for this.
Tell me about it.
Now, last question, though. It's very clear that Pete's
Exclamation 2, 3, 4.
You can't challenge me in lore, please.
What giant mechanical monstrosity of the Burning Legion roamed the Hellfire? Yes.
Fel Reaver.
Correct. And with that, Pete has clobbered trivia. I kind of figured you would.
Yay! Way to go, Pete.
Way to go, Pete. You're a fucking nerd.
Pete, Who in chat would you like to donate it to?
Oh god,
Well,
that's awesome.
they have been awfully chatty all
Oh,
evening,
yes.
and they've given us a question, and they followed me on Twitter. So I'd like to donate my prize to Haughty Chicken.
Yay! Who is not a haughty type person. She's not haughty at all, but she's delightful. She's
I have
flippin'
no idea
adorable.
what Haughty.
I thought it was
means.
naughty, not haughty. Or
I'm a naughty chicken. Ooh.
Well,
Implied
haughty
erotica.
means arrogantly superior and disdainful. And she
Oh,
is very much not a arrogant.
Arrogantly superior.
arrogantly
I need
superior.
to change all of my names to Haughty Phoenix.
She's a cheeky poo.
Now, I am
Well-
Haughty Frazley with H-O-T-T-Y.
Frazley, you definitely do not have implied superiority.
No, H-O-T-T-Y.
You're a hottie.
I'm a Haughty.
hot tea?
Okay. Yes, he's a hot mug of tea.
She says, I'm a
Cheerio.
nana.
He's a tall glass of water.
I still don't understand that term at all. I saw it in Tangled, and that I'm just like, I don't get it.
You're a very plain individual.
Oh.
Because water is plain. Frazley, you're not at all.
See, I thought that was a play on the fact that when you're thirsty, you're lusting after somebody, so that's our tall.
You're
No,
salivating.
you're just
for it.
thirsty.
Thirsty.
You're just thirsty. You're just thirsty.
Well, I am kind of thirsty for water, and I've been talking all night because I want to thank you all for joining me on FrazlCast tonight. It was a great experience, and you took me to the task. It's 2 hours of recording, but it was great. And as Hottie Chicken said, a lot of great sage advice was passed around tonight. And
Well, you're welcome. We try our best, and we're often wrong, but we try.
You may be often wrong. I am forever correct.
I mean,
We'll have words later. Later.
you know, I only ever try to be difficult because I love you, feet.
I swear it
Implied
just came out
erotica.
like I love you feet.
He loves his own feet. That's why they're up on.
So that's
Well, he's
why
got-
he has a foot fetish. Got it.
Okay.
That's why he's got.
Whoa!
That's why he's got a foot cam. Remember?
Not anymore. Okay, so where can we find you on the interwebs? We're going to start with Lady Emma.
You can find me on Twitter at lady_Emma. I do now have my own official Discord. And if you want it, find me on Twitter and ask for it. Because I'll give you an invite that way.
If you want it, come and get it.
So how would they find you on Twitter, Emma?
At lady_Emma.
There
Like
you go.
you just said.
I thought that was a Twitch. Oh, I'm good. I mean, look, I am claiming the fact that it's 4 a.m. in the morning right now. All right.
And Pete, where can we find you across the interwebs?
Okay, so if you want to follow my main Twitter account, you can find me at Titans Creed. If you want to follow stuff for just video and gaming and podcast and all the other various things, you can find it at Gaming Phoenix. If you want just my videos, you can find them at youtube.com/Project Phoenix Productions. It's where we put all the podcasts and the VODs for the streams. Not all of the VODs, only the good ones. And if you want to join me live, you can join me live over at twitch.tv/Project Phoenix Productions. As well, I do have a big announcement in the next couple of weeks regarding the charity stream that we'll be doing, the big annual one. I'm sure Mr. Frazley is going to promote the hell out of that because he wants to see certain things and various other things.
Yes.
But
Like
there is a
what
lot planned.
things? Do we get a tease? What things could we see?
Blindfolds.
Oh,
That
yes.
sounds kinky.
Oh, Illidan.
And me. And
we are not
Illidan.
prepared.
Illidan.
Sorry.
There are various things. There is a very good chance that our normal 2-day stream is going to turn into a 3-day if we hit specific targets.
Fantastic.
We've broken our target year on year, and we're aiming to smash it this year.
Nice.
Follow me on the socials, follow me on the Twitch and the YouTubes and everywhere else. Even if you follow Frazley, you'll probably see it because he'll retweet the hell out of it. I know he will.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll mention on the show when the information comes out. And Scruffy, where can we find you across the interwebs?
You can find me on Twitter, I think somewhere on Instagram, and I do have a page on Facebook, but it's the Scruffy Druid. You can find me on Twitch as the Scruffy Druid as well. You can find me on the podcast Loot Optional, which is a lot of stuff about games and movies and some Blizzard stuff as well, and some tabletop fun stuff. We've got a segment on there where it started as me trying to get back into being a dungeon master, and now it's turned into here's what's going on in tabletop stuff. And there will definitely be some talks about our game that we just started up once a month, so that's kind of fun. But you can follow Loot Optional at Loot Optional, or you can listen to the podcast on any of your favorite apps or at the website for Loot Optional. Either as a Scruffy Druid or Loot Optional in some form or another, everywhere.
Google the thing and you shall find it.
We hope so. Oh, and there's positive pot shots on my Twitter, pretty much Monday through Friday, if you're looking for a nice way to start your day. And also lots and lots of pictures of my dogs. I think my dogs kind of run my Twitter most of the time anyways.
Poppers!
So. Lots of pictures of Book lately, because he's just been like, look how cute I am.
Oh, he is adorable!
He is handsome. And
I think
he's
he
a jerk.
deserves
I love
a
him.
treat right now because of how.
I already ordered them more antlers, and they're coming in next week. So they're getting their elk antlers again, because they're down to some little nubbies.
And we need a doggo cam that people can redeem on stream.
Oh, that's true. I need to actually set my DSLR up again, because it was taken down so that way Mr. Scruffy could take it on the road while he was storm chasing a week ago. So he was taking pictures with it. So
That's
I was
right.
I was not able to go and take photos because I was stuck in bed. It was stupid.
Oh.
So anyways. Oh well, it hasn't made it back up to the tripod yet, so, and I need to take the pictures off of it and futz around with them and see if there are any good ones. But that'll come back up, and then there can be a doggo cam again. I just take the camera off and I like point it over in the corner whenever Book's chasing his tail, or that he was running around stream last night where he was just kind of face palming into the gym mats behind me and going woof, like all the way across him, and then just flopping everywhere. No idea what he's doing, but you know,
it's the moment that they just run in circles on their mat and then just go.
Oh yeah, he does.
I'm done.
He loves to chase his tail, and he loves to make lots of noises that make me go, "What the hell is going on back there?" And usually people get to see it too. So,
Activating customized orphan transporter.
Well, I am back at my home of Ironforge until we one day reclaim Gnomergon.
I'm a gnome.
Let's look at what has been happening in the community.
Awesome. Let's do that. So the runs for the Uncrypted Voidwing are happening right now. Follow at Friendship Mount on Twitter to find out where runs happen, and they are all raising money for various charities. Get your AOTC before the Uncrypted Voidwing takes flight with the Shadowlands pre-patch. Avarin Rose has been running with Perky Pugs, and they're raising money for Feeding America. They've raised over $3,000, and for every $20 donated, they add an eye to their face. Let's see how many more eyes we can get. The Running of the Trolls returns for its 6th annual year to benefit the Trevor Project on June 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. GMT. The link to donate to the campaign is now up. During this section, I tend to come across art during the week, so I've got some art I want to showcase this week. I've got links to all the pieces in the show notes. WoW tweeted out the artist Valiant this week, and Aloyja tweeted out a commission of Pastilia. And I found a lovely Blood Elf illustration by Diana T. And then Kara sent me an adorable leopard gnome that lives inside of an abomination made by @geist_bag. And then while browsing Reddit, I came across Two Faces of Queen Azara by Kandra Gloomblade and Ilaria Windrunner by Lee Gunho. And then Icy Veins reports on Redditor Alakatter, who added depth to some WoW art and made it look 3D using AI. Results are really quite something. And then they show some chillingly cool Death Knight armor by Handclaw. And in addition to this, Icy Veins released an interview with Handclaw. If you don't know Handclaw, they have been making fantastic concept art for each race and class in WoW. And speaking of concept art, Wowhead shows us the work that Redditor Silverleaf2520 has done to bring us their hopes for future allied race eye and skin color customizations. Finishing off the creative side of WoW, Spaz sent me a video by Captain Malcolm 0514 on Reddit, whose wife recreated the running through the hallway scenes from Scooby-Doo in the Ice Crown Zone cathedrals. And then Wowhead exposes again how talented Rextroy is with the mechanics as they report on Rextroy one-shotting Horde on a naked paladin. And then Wowhead shines a light, or darkness in this case, on Novel 87 with their monthly lore spotlight with Novel. This month it's on the cosmology of WoW. Perfect timing as we get ready to head to the Shadowlands. And Des Mephisto is already in the Shadowlands. In the alpha, he has leveled 10 to 50 in under 4 hours in Warlords of Draenor, according to Wowhead, using the new Chromie time that just got added to the alpha. And finally, back in Classic, A mage and paladin killed 100 elites in one poll, has Icy Veins reports. All the details and videos on this are in the post at Icy Veins. Before we end this section, we have the sad news that there will not be a BlizzCon this year. Blizzard has hinted that they are looking to do something virtual early next year. I think this is the wisest choice of action to protect the people going. I had already made the decision to not go if something was going to happen out of safety concerns. I thank everyone for the ability to go last year through your outpouring of support. I'll be going again once it's safe to do so. BlizzCon has become a necessity for me. It's unfortunate that we won't be able to meet this year, especially given that the world is in crisis due to COVID-19 and the unjust murder of George Floyd being just two of the things that immediately come to mind. BlizzCon is a way for us to come together as a family from so many different walks of life. I've got good news in the fact that different communities have mentioned that they are looking at ways to do something virtual this year. I'm going to keep an ear out for what I can do to be part of these, and I will also mention them here, just like I do for the BlizzCon information and party information that I share every year on this show.
This has been another awesome episode of FrazlCast. Take it away, Frazzlepants.
Thank you, Scruffy. A shout out to Raina, who said that they enjoy listening to Whispers of War, We Only WoW, and FrazlCast. Thank you so much, Raina! Modestin on YouTube said that they loved FrazlCast 160. And then Burkhart on Twitter said, I honestly enjoyed the episode greatly, and it's helped me get through this cruddy day. And they also said that Zorts might have unwittingly created an enemy thinking that their class should be deleted. And Zorts replied, I regret nothing. A shout out to Suzanne, who said, thanks for answering my question. Also a great episode. The convos going on were very insightful and helpful in general. Brownie points for all of you answering tough questions for the internet and for that stealth F-bomb. A shout out to Chris Carter, who said, just listened to the episode and it was great. I never thought I'd hear of another realist and Hoosier like myself until I heard Zorts. By the way, I also have Yinglings. And then a shout out to Hottie Chicken, who talked about the episode that you're listening to right now and said that it was a fantastic stream. Apart from the laughs and giggles, the advice was so good for streamers, both new and established. So glad I found you all. And I'm so glad you found us, Hottie Chicken. And then I was honored to be on the Warcraft Radio's Shadowlands Roundtable. This was episode 6, and Kexman had Des Mephisto, Frazley, and Mango. We talked about things from the BlizzCon cancellation to thoughts on the Chromie Time Edition and Alpha, and more. Thank you for having me on. That was a lot of fun. Over on Twitch, I've got some good news. I will be eating the Carolina Reaper chip on Tuesday, June 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you aren't able to make the live show, I will have a highlight and video of it, so don't worry. You will see all the hotness that's going to happen. And also me burning my mouth. I'm a little terrified, but I do it for you because I love you. And every week, I like to thank those who have given back to the show financially. Thank you to my Twitch subs out there. Thank you to Allie of Dungeon Fables and All Things Azeroth, Amanda of Geek Herring, Blissful Moonrise, Blood Dragon 767, BSB Crames, Burkhart, Cap, Chaotic Goodish, Chris of MMO Reporter, Chromatic Sim, Crunk, Dalek Kupo, Demeternoth, Demolizer, Epicinsanity of Frozen Nerds, Fiesta Taco 1983, Phileas Cheesesteak, Jen of Morally Grey Podcast, Green Dragon, Grand Nagus of Control at WoW, Harlow, Jendin, Carenza, KR Soli, Crush of Crush's Cavern, Lance Blizz Gamer, Lickle Boo, Lucas of Cardique Valley, Michael of Two Nerds Maybe More and the Genome Project, Morelia, Myers Charming 1, Knight, Pete of Stories Around Azeroth, Pippin YT, Razarus, Rig of Charactercraft, Scissorlord, Sinister Gaming, Halloween, Talonroid, the Scruffy Druid of Loot Optional, the British Andy, Tom of 3 Extra Lives, and Zorts the Goblin. And thank you to Cat for the bits, and thank you to Michael who bought a Be Awesome long sleeve shirt. If you want to support the show financially, please go to support.gnomepodcast.com. And if you have Twitch Prime to Amazon Prime, you can use your free Twitch Prime subscription on my channel and get ad-free viewing and Twitch emotes, and all of your support goes helping support this labor of love. Thank you so much. Well, I am Frazley, and you can find the show at gnomepodcast.com. There you can catch past episodes and find out many of the places where you can subscribe to this show to get the Gnome Train coming to you every single week. Well, until next week, be awesome.
FrazlCast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. Views expressed by the hosts and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard Games, and they are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended. This show is for the community, and it contains contributions from the community. The Gnome Train Intro is by Allie of Dungeon Fables and All Things Azeroth. The opening music is by Brandon T. Blaylock. The Gnome Roar is by Jen of Morally Grey Podcast, and the Frazzlepants bumper at the end is by the Scruffy Druid of Loot Optional and Viral Voice Arts.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio.
Podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.
Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.
How do we all fit on the gnome train? Because is it gnome size?
Well, if it's gnome size, I thought we sat on top of it, like, adults sat on the kids train in the malls.
I just have this picture of, well, granted, okay, so I come from the country, and those little trains are like John Deere mower with the barrels being pulled behind it.
Yes.
Big blue barrels behind the mower.
That's the one.
Hooray.
It's been fun. Farewell.